People are on the lookout for the last 4 months of the year, otherwise called Ember months, because the end part ends with, well, at least from September, October, November, and December, for the different reasons. Now, most Nigerians look forward to the festivities, usually characterizing this period, and the holidays that come with the season. Now, social economic activities often peak for these months as well. And this require planning, shopping, and also movement of people from one place to another. Ironically, the Ember month is also when some Nigerians get overtly religious and superstitious. The reasons are not far-fetched. Higher rate of accidents and death, and some other kind of acts that people usually say, okay, you get to see them in December months. Now, some Nigerians also insist that December month must have some mythical or spiritual connotations to them. This belief has been with us over the ages, and there are no indications that it will be wished away anytime soon. Now, the questions will be, why do Nigerians feel so strongly about it, or about this month? Their justifications to these myths and reservations? Do we really have cause to worry about the Ember months, different from other months of the year? Let's explore the season together. This is Nigeria Today, as we look at the facts and myth about the Ember months. My name is Blessing Abu. Welcome to Nigeria Today. Yes, with me in the studio this evening to discuss the issue for today, I'd like to welcome Dr. Sini Kwabe. He's the National Coordinator of Special Marshals. Glad to have you in the studio.
Good evening.
And of course, why will we be talking about roads and road issues and not have, of course, from the Special Marshal now supporting the main agency? I'd like to welcome back to Nigeria Today, Ali Sule Tanimo is the Deputy Core Public Education Officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps. Welcome to the program.
Thank you and good evening.
Let's break it down first. This perception about the Ember months, is it a universal thing, or is it just African thing and perhaps Nigerian thing?
To me, it is a Nigerian thing. People believe that it is so much spiritual when you come to Ember month. But I believe, as a lead agency that has to do with traffic management in Nigeria, we don't believe in such, because this is a time when people have gathered their money, planned towards the Ember month, want to travel during the first period. But when it comes to driving during this period, people tend to be rushing home. They want to go and celebrate. And because of carelessness and because of lack of patience, people tend to be overspeeding. You know, officially, the speed limit on the highway is 100 kilometers per hour. But there are places you can use your common sense, called what is called common sense speed limit. Because if you are driving around, we say you can drive 100 kilometers per hour. Of course, you need to really see what is right by using common sense. All right, before we get to the nitty-gritty of what's driving the limit, speed limits, and what all road activities that characterize this period, let's get to Tanimo. For the Ember months, beyond what I've reeled out and what he's trying to explain, what else, what fact or what myth have you heard, from the bizarre to the ludicrous?
Yeah, the myth surrounding the Ember month, I mean, it's just folk tales. People just believe that it's a month where a lot of bloodshed, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of crashes that would have been avoided. So they believe some of these transport agencies or companies are using people this period of the year to satisfy their spiritual needs. And some others again feel this is a period where from their villages they are being witch hunted, and that month anything can happen. Once you hit the road, if you die, they attribute it to the month. But we are trying to demystify this month. There's nothing special about the month. It's a month where a lot of activities come to play. People want to travel for Christmas. People want to go and meet their loved ones. People want to move from the rural areas to the urban areas. People are moving from the urban areas to the rural areas. People from the city center, from the cities want to go to the village for Christmas. And this is a period where some people reserve this month to have a family meeting in the village. And that's a period where some want to change their vehicles. They save for the whole year, waiting for this month to travel. And by the time they buy their car, maybe the person has no car, he decided to buy a car, he didn't pass through the rudiments of driving, and he hits the road. And by the time he crashes, and maybe eventually he dies, he will say, oh, the people will say, Ember month.
And they didn't want me to buy a car.
They didn't want me, yes, that is it.
I'm glad you, I would like to latch on to one area that you just pointed out for those who will be moving this period. Of course, there are road safety codes that we have, there are road guidelines, and Nigerians, and most of the road users, now let me not say Nigerians now, road users, whether be they passengers, be they drivers, are they really relating with this codes as well as safety guides like you have put out?
Yeah.
Since I'll come back to you.
They are really complying because as soon as we enter the Ember month, we carry out special intervention enlightenment and special intervention patrols to educate the people, to talk to not only the drivers, even passengers. We always want passengers to vigilante their life. They should be in a position whereby they shouldn't just be sitting down, they shouldn't be passive. If the driver is going above the legal speed limit, they should be able to tell him. And thank God we have gotten a very good compliance level of the enlightenment campaign. Some stakeholders, corporate agencies have carried out special intervention campaigns for the road safety, like the Don't Drink and Drive by the Nigerian Breweries PLC. They went to about 4 geopolitical zones. The campaign is, people were wondering, why should people who sell beer, who produce beer, now be telling Nigerians that don't drink and drive? If you have to drink, drink water. And because they know that safety is everybody's business. And alcohol, when they take alcohol, as a driver, it impairs the senses, the vision, you lose focus, you lose concentration, it affects the body system. So we are happy that Nigerians have come to terms with this Ember Month campaign, and they are also beginning to realize that there's nothing special about this month, only this month, only that drivers want to maximize profit. Yes. Okay.
Now, I know this period too, you get to see special marshals too at this period. You get to see them in your numbers. So if you're saying nothing special about the Ember months, why is the activity, or some of your activities, why do they pick up to at this point in time?
Just as I said earlier, there's nothing so special about the Ember month. It's not so spiritual as many of us so believe it. It's a feast period, of course, that people tend to be going for celebration. People tend to leave the village to come to the city to make shopping, to buy cars. People tend to go back to the villages to have meetings, just like my colleague has said. But it is a special intervention month whereby, because of the attitudes of people, things that can be prevented by us as human beings, we tend not to. And crashes occur so much on our Nigerian roads. So
where do we have this concentration of these crashes, especially for this period? Is it at the urban end or more at the rural end?
Well, it's all over, even the city. Because, for instance, people complain that there are bad roads, and that's why there are crashes. But I tend to disagree. Abuja has one of the best roads in Nigeria. But because people have made it like a racing ground, overspeeding, we have recorded most of the highest crashes in Abuja. Why am I saying? It's because of attitude. Either in the rural area, in the urban areas, people tend to be overspeeding. Some people tend to be, abuse the privileges that have been given to them. If someone has a car today, it's a privilege. It's not really right. And one is being blessed. So you should be able to see it and take it that safety is everybody's business. Dr.
Kwabe, tell me more about your experience on the road, because I know from time to time when it's period, this kind of period, your men are on the way, the highway, like I already pointed out. what is your experience with average driver, even the passengers, on road activities, road guidelines, in their movements? So beyond the city center, we know the major highways, you get to see people either they're not leaving for their destination in time. We have vehicular movement clogged up at certain points. What is the average Nigerian or Nigerian road user? How do they relate with the road at this period?
Well, to be honest with you, before the intervention period of involvement on the road, before the enlightenment program that will be so much involved, people tend to drive the way they do. But because we have put a lot of our officers and men on the road, when they come towards road safety personnel, somebody may not be putting his seatbelt. Immediately he's trying to be struggling putting his seatbelt. And I keep on telling fellow Nigerians, well, I will not really do any favor to federal safety co, but because safety is one's business, we are only consider your life to be safe. Because when people go into crash and lose their life, people count in like numbers. These are lives. And I discovered that when they come towards the end of their trip, because of the exhausted, they are so tired, which we are now recommending that people should try to avoid fatigue. And as my colleague said, people want to make business so quick.
That's what the commercial drivers now.
And the passenger too. Instead of them caution the driver who is overspeeding, so they are happier to reach their destination because they want to go into celebration. It is better to be late than to be late. Because once you're gone, there's no duplicate. You need to really caution the driver when he's overspeeding. Gradually you move, you're going to reach your destination. No matter how you overspeed, the difference between you and the person who ride on the proper mileage, you reach, it can't be more than 5 to 10 minutes. So I always advise that people should take it easy and be conscious of driving so that life can be saved.
Okay, let's get back to Mr. Tanimu. Also, part of the question still suffice. We get to see that, okay, on a normal day or normal periods, you see maybe maintaining like 2, 3, 4 lanes if it's double lanes. But you get to the peak of the season, that is especially for December, the month of December, you get as high as 6, 7, 8 lanes, everyone trying to move at the same time so that they are stuck. What should people do at this period, and how do your men handle all of this?
Yeah, this is a period where a lot of Nigerians are impatient. We have a very bad attitude, impatient in the sense that a journey that they know will take 7 hours, they will not start their journey early. They will be busy doing something different and they will commence their journey very late. And because they are late to kickstart their journey, they want to now beat that time. At the end of the day, you see where there are 2 or 3 lanes or 4 lanes that people are queuing, you now see people that you don't even expect, people you think are responsible, exhibit some act that you just be marveled. You know, they now form extra lane. Sometimes the security agencies, they are the ones that start this problem. I have to say the truth. That's because
your colleague uniform man.
Yes, because they discover that the lanes are full and they use siren to go, others now follow. How do you control such situation? Of course, you can't stop the average Nigerian who has followed the security people back without turning the security people back. So you have to, you'll be helpless.
So how does it make your job? How does it impact on your own job?
Yeah,
control.
Honestly, it makes the job a little bit difficult. But sometimes when we stop them, we talk, we say, look at what you've created. Now you can see everybody is stopped. There's now a gridlock. There's a traffic conflict. How do we get out of it? You have to come down and assist. And sometimes they come down and assist. Sometimes, like this period now, because of what people exhibit on the roads, there's a synergy between all the security agencies. So this time around, it has been nib on the board. Okay. So the police, the road safety, the VIOs, and other agencies are doing the same thing, trying to make sure that people get to their destination safely, and to try to make sure that all this bad driving attitude has been mitigated. And Sometimes
just within Abuja or
no,
where?
no,
No, it's all over.
no, it's all over. It's all over. You see, we have some critical areas. Of course, right now I know that the road around Okene is very bad. That is a place where every people get stuck.
When you say bad, what do you mean bad? If it's very bad.
Yeah, the road is not good.
So the road itself has issues for the motorists.
Yeah, it has contributed. So people now use alternative routes, like people that will have to use through Okene, they pass through Obajana, and some they go through another bypass.
All right, gentlemen, we'll go on this break now. The break is to enable us to see what the Nigerians feel about these facts and myths about the Ember months. We spoke with some earlier, and let's find out what they think about that.
This is the period everybody rushed to meet up some arrangement he has from the beginning of the year to see it, get it really done. In some cases, they don't see it coming through. They make several efforts to see it real. And in the course of making sure what they set to achieve, they go extra mile doing things. Some of them in the course, like the accident you just mentioned. Some will overspeed because of a business arrangement over a period of time that he received call, he will speed and crashed.
When you look at it, you're celebrating. It's an Ember month. Spirit is high. Everybody is celebrating. Wants to celebrate. So as you're preparing, I think the devil also is preparing. And while we're preparing and the spirit is being high, you tend to, be excited, and you forget about checking your fuel, or in the spirit of merriment, you get drunk and you're in the road. But I'm a Christian, so I will look it in the spiritual aspect. While you're trying to celebrate, the devil is trying to bring you down. So definitely, they are out too for their own celebration.
This Ember month is a very serious month that everybody know. From September to December, it's a very serious month. So, like as many that want to travel, my advice for them is that they should seek God's face. They should pray. They should fast. Even people that are traveling, people that to travel, people that are traveling, and people that will be at home. Everybody should try and sit up, seek the face of God.
Whenever it's Ember month, some of us think that it's time for me to show my people that I'm doing well in the city. And sometimes people are in the villages are trying to acquire things that will show that, yes, they really want to celebrate Christmas. But the way our mentality is, I think we should stop it here in Nigeria, because we are losing a lot of lives. Please, whenever it's Ember month, let us come back to our senses and be focused. Christmas doesn't mean that it's time to show wealth or it's time to show our perfection, but it's a sober reflection to celebrate our Lord Jesus Christ. So please, brothers and sisters, we should mind the way we take our life during Ember months.
Yeah, some respondent there sharing their views on the fact and myth of the Ember months. Now back to our guests in the studio. Let's take a look at what we need to do differently. For a road user traveling at this period, of course, we can actually make it the same way we have other months of the year. What are those basic things or requirements you expect the road user at this period to have? Let's start with you, Mr. Tenemy.
Yeah, this is a period where people want to travel to go for Xmas, and the journey they want to carry a lot of
somehow just vacation, but not just because of Xmas.
Yes, vacation, a lot of activities within this period. So during this period, first and foremost, if you have to use your vehicle, you have to do proper vehicle check, proper vehicle maintenance. You have to service the car. You have to check your tires. Tires are very, very important, because if you buy fake tires, Tokumbo tires, or you drive with worn-out tires, if there's any blowout and you are going on top speed, of course, the chances of surviving is not 50-50. It's very slim. So people must go for good tires. People must check the vehicles, check the condition of the vehicle, and at the same time, people should stay away from alcohol, especially those who travel. You see people people who want to travel, they go all night partying, then first thing in the morning without having adequate sleep. they want to hit the road, they become hazardous to other road users. So we are saying that this is a period where people should have enough rest, maintain their vehicle, get all the necessary things, their jacks, their caution sign, and they should ensure that they put on their seatbelt, not only the driver and the front passenger, including the rear passengers. Yes, because if there's any emergency and you slam your brake, you see somebody from behind going out, yes, through the windscreen.
That is, so, that's if those seat belts in our vehicles, if they are working.
Yeah, because some use them to tow vehicles. Ooh. If they are traveling, rather than getting a tow truck and there's a breakdown, they cut this rear seat belt, tie them, and start towing vehicles.
Oh my word.
Do that. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Kwame, let's take a look at another area. I want the kind of advice or requirement for people to. Now, he talked about alcohol. Both of you actually talked about that. What's other means to which you detect these are now effective? Is this on the spot detection for alcohol testing? That's one. The second question is also, Nigerians are quick to film when you have accidents. Instead of reaching out to help, that is if they're trained anyway, and if they're not, what can they do to assist people once there is accident on the way, instead of filming and just posting on social media immediately? And all of this.
Well, one of the problems we are having in this country is post-crash. Instead of helping the victims, some people impound the problem. If you see that, you should be able to call our toll number 122.
122.
Yeah, okay. Which is free. You don't need to pay, or reach the nearest road safety commands, or even the police or civil defense. We are working in synergy. By the time you do that, or anybody who is a medical doctor or paramedics can assist than trying to compound the problem. But to me, when you want to set on a journey, you should make sure that you have your rest senses. You should have had enough rest. You should avoid drugs. Avoid alcoholic, as my colleague has said. Make sure every other thing is in place. And if you are traveling 5 hours, you should be able to leave on time. Target at least 6 hours to travel 5 hours. Don't make it like those who are driving between Jos Bauchi. I must go to Abuja within 45 minutes. It is life you are driving. You are carrying people. So to me, you need to be in your right senses, obey the traffic rules and regulations, obey every other person on the road, because animals can even come up. If you are prepared, you have your right senses, I think you could be able to control yourself when you're moving. But when you're out of your senses, you are in rush, your vehicle is in no good order, there's a tendency of crashes. And to me, I advise every Nigerian that you're banking on trip, either you're going for first period, you're going for accommodation, that you're going to relax with your family, trying to prepare yourself, you don't need to rush.
And also have consideration for
other people on the road.
All the road users, exactly. Because you get to see people who is just not about
exactly. Everybody has the right to use the road. A pedestrian has the right, a bike rider has the right. But to us, because those facilities are lacking in Nigeria, some of them don't have. And the zebra crossing, for instance, is one of the things we don't even respect it. And I always advise drivers that they should be able to respect that. When there's a zebra crossing, you should come much more slower. When you're coming to a junction, it's only you who is the right person in your right senses. Every other driver is a madman. So to me, I don't claim right. You'll be driving on your way, somebody will come and rush into you. It has happened 3 days back. I felt so bad.
And another area I know we want to quickly look at before we go. Yes, so many people are filled with so many things disturbing them, and they come looking for who to pour their frustration out on.
To blame.
Blame, exactly. And for other road users, you now see them actually stop right in the middle of the highway or wherever the road is being used, and they cause obstruction to other road users. How do we address this?
Particularly the tanker drivers. If there are problems, for instance, they will just come across to this thing. But it's a high time that we should be able to address this issue. And that is by issue of enlightenment, by talking to them, by preparing lectures to them, by talking to some of these. Because like for instance, the experience I have, there are some of these tanker drivers want to join the special marshals. And I told them, You don't join special marshal because you want to meeting. You have to do the right thing. If not, we cannot take it for you by doing the right thing at the right time all the time.
So who can actually join to support at least for activities?
Every Nigerian is qualified.
Okay.
Men of proven integrity at your level, that you can influence your community, you can be able to contribute, you can be able to use your resources, talents.
Safety is
everybody's business.
Everybody's business.
Don't look at its benefit, but how can you be able to save life?
Okay. On that safety note, we'll round off this conversation, believing that the Ember months are just like every other month of the year, and knowing that if we are cautious, we can actually get everyone to be safe on the road. I'd like to appreciate both of you. We'll start off with Deputy Core Public Education Officer, Alice Tanimo. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Also like to appreciate Dr. Sini Kwabe, National Coordinator of Special Marshals.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your insight.
I appreciate you.
Well, also, thank you for watching. Remember, you can watch this edition or any other edition online at youtube.com. That's /NTA News 24 Hub. My name is Blessing Abu. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.